No. He's still taking his time. It's a sensitive injury, so gotta take his time.
Hey, Boy Manning here, Miami, Florida. We're back at FTX Arena right after the Heat shoot-around this morning. Celtics canceled theirs. I put it out there yesterday. Late last night, they called it off. Unclear why. I didn't want to start a panic or anything like that, but their injury report remains the same going into this one. Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, both questionable as they have been the last couple of games. Rob with the ankle, or the knee swelling from the knee bruise in round 2. Marcus Smart with the ankle that he's been dealing with since early in this round. Both of them had varying levels of effectiveness in Game 6. The tough loss, 111-103 for Boston, that sends them down here for a game that's gonna decide their season. Unbelievably, the letdown in Game 6 where they were heavy favorites, still hard to believe. Jimmy Butler, of course, the biggest reason that we're here today back in Florida, but the Celtics played into it as well. 18 more turnovers. Unclear how they're going to curb that issue, because I had a back and forth with Matt Moore on Twitter earlier in the series when the Celtics were looking sloppy, and he's like, does Miami get any credit for doing it? And the more you look at it, the more you think that that's probably the reality of this. All their swiping, all their aggressiveness, their willingness to take fouls, it's part of what's been disrupting the Celtics here and making them lose the ball on their dribble drives. Jaylen Brown in particular, it looks like they're ready and well positioned to knock him off the ball in those spots. So that's going to be the key for the Celtics. I asked Eric Spoelstra just a few minutes ago whether adjustments can be a big thing going into Game 7, and there's a little bit of it, but clearly both these teams know each other pretty well at this point. Bam Adebayo told me that this is the most physical series he's ever played in, and for Bam, for Tyler Herro, for the younger guys on this team, this is going to be the first Game 7, and Herro's still questionable going into this one. Bam wore his shirt. You can go check it out on the YouTube channel. CLNS Media, his presser is up there. Said it isn't foreshadowing a Herro return here, but who knows? That'd be something Bam would do, knowing Bam from his last few seasons here. Eric Spoelstra didn't have an injury report yet as well, but Max Strus, PJ Tucker, all those guys that have been on the injury report, as well as Gabe Vincent, are still on there, and you would imagine that they're going to be good to go in this one. Celtics certainly going to need their guys, and to go back to Rob, that's the one that worries me coming into this one. He didn't play in the fourth quarter, went to the scorers table to check in, and of course sat down after Al Horford hit his 3. Ime talked about the reason yesterday that Rob ultimately didn't appear in the late stretches of that game.
With Rob overall, he was playing solid, no doubt. He was fine with that. It wasn't anything physical. Now we've tried to manage his minutes a little bit. And him getting up to 26 is a high mark since he's been back with the injuries. And so just more so a result of Al making a big 3, Al making some plays down the end there. And that's who we went with. Nothing to do with Rob physically. And we know he's not at 100%. He's continuing to push through that, but it's, like I said, game to game, playing a little bit more, feeling a little bit better. And we hope to have him obviously game for Game 7.
So although it wasn't injury related, the minutes that Rob is playing are a factor, it looks like, and that's concerning, because if Rob's rolling at a higher level than Al right now, you want him to be able to sustain deep into this game and be an option in crunch time at the best version of himself. More and more you look at this series, and if the Celtics are going to go on the lose, you always hate to hear it, but injuries have factored in here. Rob, day and night, what Bam Adebayo is able to do when he's on the court versus off, and Rob became that lob outlet that Ime has talked about. They've missed him over the last couple games here, unable to find him. They've had drop-off opportunities, lob opportunities to get the ball to him, and they really didn't unlock that until the late stages of the third quarter in Game 6. So you hope that he'll make himself available in that facet. You hope he'll be able to get out there at all in this game. And that's going to essentially be the key for the Celtics, along with Derrick White, who I wrote about at Boston Sports Journal yesterday. They got to trust him. The way he's commanding the offense in the short roll, the way he's just been hounding these Heat offensive players, except for when he gets in that Butler switch. They got to play him a ton. I'm not sure how good Marcus Smart's going to look in this one. I don't know if the ankle factored into his 1 for 9 3-point shooting game, but it wasn't a great performance from him in Game 6. And these are the buttons Ime's going to have to push. The back and forth of this series, we said a couple of games ago that the Heat were the thin team. They were the ones reaching for answers. Well, Spoelstra tightened up the rotation even more and got the best out of 6-7 guys in that game. And if they're able to get Herro back for this one too, they're going to be in the position of strength, it seems, from a rotation standpoint. If Smart isn't effective, if Rob is limited in the amount of minutes and stretches that he can play in, as well as Peyton Pritchard, who, for now, has been cut out of this rotation. I would go back to him, as Josue and I talked about after the last game. You almost wonder if the Celtics are getting a little too defensive at this point, because the defense ended up slipping anyway last game against a great performance. Celtics weren't able to chase points, and they end up being the team in the half court that's struggling to get 100 points per 100 possessions. I think they finished Game 6 at 92 in the half court. Heat get going up to 102. Not a great number, but in this grind of a series, that's going to be enough. Two great defenses canceling each other out. Who's going to hit shots tonight? You always hate to go to there, but that has been the story of the series so far. Unfortunately for the Celtics, the last time the Heat played here in Game 5, it was a historically bad shooting night for them. So we'll have all your coverage here in Miami. Tip-off 8:30 on ESPN. We'll have post-game after. Celtics either going home or going to the NBA Finals tonight here in Miami. I'm Bobby Manning. We're brought to you by calm.com/garden. 40% off a premium subscription. I mean, it speaks for itself this time. You know how you're going to be feeling after this game. Win or lose, you got work on Monday. You're going to need to wind down at some point tonight after post-game. Get yourself to bed. Calm's going to help you with sleep sounds, meditations, and a variety of other wellness sounds to help you relax and get the sleep you need. HelloFresh, of course, playoff 16, hellofresh.com/playoff16. You're going to get 16 free meals, 3 free gifts to feed you this week and for the weeks to come. And if the Celtics move on to the NBA Finals, you're going to need some help with dinner, instructions, prepackaged ingredients. It's all laid out for you. It's all easy. It's hellofresh.com/playoffs16. Thanks to them. Thanks to you for following our coverage throughout the year. We're excited to do it one more time, at least one more time with you guys. And you guys have made these road appearances possible. We'll be out to San Francisco Tuesday if the Celtics win tonight. So stay tuned all throughout, or for exit interviews after this game if it goes the wrong way, and I don't think any of us are ready for that. From Miami, Bobby Manning, one more time. Tuning out. We'll see you later tonight.